absorption on both top and bottom, that shows me indecision. That tells me that
Yep.
they've kind of lost interest,
Yep.
and nobody really wants control. And at that point, I exited once I saw that.
Yep. So I mean, I was aiming for this would have been an absolute banger 320. Can you imagine
Yeah,
it? This would
yeah,
have been
right.
like this would have been phew, that would have been
Yeah,
next level, man. I would have got out
yeah,
here. Now the question is why I got a question in the community. Why did I get out there? The reason I would get out there is because of we already went through this, but the reason I get out here is because I know for a fact there are huge sellers here, huge sellers here. So
yeah,
I got no business holding this trade thinking, oh, we might be able to. No, you get out here, right? That's
yeah.
very important to understand.
Well,
You're
I look for order flow now. Order flow is going to tell me. And so here's another thing: is I'm actually okay if price loses momentum. One of my trades, I got out when price lost. The order flow showed that it was losing momentum up. It may have done like a small retrace and then continued forward. I'm actually okay exiting with 20 ticks because there's going to be another setup in 30 minutes or an hour, and I'm not. I've gotten my money. I'm out of the market. I'm heartburn free, and just waiting for the next setup.
yeah,
Okay, so this was the first one that I took, and so here's my question: the first arrow down, that is the 730. Yep, that's the 730 candle. Are you okay allowing your first breakout to be within the first 15 minutes?
yeah, I'm fine with that. The only rule I have is I don't trade within the first 15 minutes unless the setup is
Okay.
really clean. But I found if you just wait, so the first 15 minutes was like from here to around I think here or something. It must
Yeah.
7:45, right? So 7:30 to 7:45. This first 15 minutes here critical, absolutely critical.
Yeah.
Don't try and there's no point forcing a trade before 7:45 unless the setup is super clean and it's at a key level and it's showing you the bolt breaker and you're ready to take it. There are some days it does do that. There are some days, but I've noticed recently that that is not happening at all. It's literally a waiting
Okay.
game from the first 15 minutes is gold mine. Like if you can understand the first 15 minutes, it
Mm,
shows you market sentiment. Right now, this trade here wasn't even that bad. Like
yeah.
optimal candle retest. I personally have another rule. The reason I didn't take this is I have two. I have a rule which you probably see sometimes I break them. But like, I have a rule where like my optimal retest has to be at least two candles. So I personally would have stayed. I personally stayed out this one. However, the setup. Actually, no, I did get in and took a dumb trade. However, I would have maybe not taken this one because I needed to see at least two candles.
I'm sorry, you broke up. You needed to see at least what?
I need to see. You see, the optimal retest is only one candle. I like to see more than one candle for an optimal retest. That's just me.
Okay.
However,
Okay.
the actual trade from a logistics standpoint wasn't bad. We had this huge break, 15 minutes. We came back in here. What we see is we saw the rejection of aggressive buyers. So passive sellers were in control. Do you know what I mean by passive sellers?
Passive sellers. Yeah. Yeah. Limit orders.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so they're responsible for driving price down. Oh,
Yeah.
this looks very good.
Yeah.
What time was
No,
that?
it's the last bolt chart that you sent out that really clicked for me. That in combination between I had built onto your overlay. I needed more confirmation. I needed add-ins, and all of that is just losing me money, and it's losing time and headspace. So
Yeah.
I have deleted all of that stuff and just purely. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You were outperforming me every day, and
Yeah.
which is great. That's
it's
what I
not
need
it's,
in
it's
a.
not it's not about outperforming, man, because we're all doing the same thing at the end of the day. So we all need to you can outperform me if you increase size and just because one thing with you, right, is that you live 7 hours behind me, right? So you're actually behind New York time as well. So you can actually afford to sit. I don't recommend it, but you can afford to sit and actually scout these levels. Whereas with me, because
Yeah.
it's in the afternoon and going into evening, it's a bit less practical for us in the UK. But
Right.
but you're in Mountain Standard Time, so it's a pretty decent time, I think, because I'm not a morning person, right? So I don't know how people do on Pacific time.
Yeah.